everybody, welcome to another episode of For the Love of Dog. I'm in studio with Gary. Gary, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm great. My name is Steve McLean, co-founder of The Little Red Dog. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time to listening to our show, please subscribe. We need your support. This is how we make things happen. This is it.
We're about to blow your mind with some dog behavior.
Blow your mind. That's right. For our senior people that have listened to us for a while, this is the segment where we kind of answer some questions about dog behavior. We take live questions when we have them. We take any question. It doesn't have to be dog behavior. It can be something physical. It can be something fun. It doesn't matter. We try to answer as best we can.
We'll even answer non-dog questions.
We do. We will. We try to talk about things that are parallel to dog behavior.
The dog world. The world through dog eyes. How's that one?
There you go. See how dogs see the world. Absolutely. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. Nothing really exciting happened to me this past week. Anything with you? Anything? Nothing?
Not a lot.
We're boring old people.
I mean, it's drive the car, get out, hang out with the dog, drive the car, get out.
I know. Every day, this pandemic, I mean, everyone's got the same gripe, right? Every day seems the same. It's kind of hard
you start to lose track of days.
Totally lose track.
Old songs shuffled.
Okay.
Wow.
Siri, stop playing. Hey Siri, stop playing. Oh, great song.
We're going to take a break from our podcast for a musical break here.
That's a great song. Get high now.
Do we have to pay for that?
I hope not. Hope not. All right. Thank you. I can't say the word.
Yeah, don't say her name.
All right. Got a question here from Elenina1 writes the question, why does my dog go crazy jumping up like a Tasmanian devil when people come over? Common question.
Super common question.
Kind of the opposite of the one that we had last time, right? About why doesn't my dog get excited?
Yeah.
But this is a more common problem. Why do dogs get excited when new people come over? And she equivocates it to the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, Taz.
Can you do the Taz voice?
No.
I can't do the voice either. Can you guys do the Taz? No, you guys can't do the. No.
Come on.
You guys are the most talented voice people. You guys can't do the Taz.
I can't even remember it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of. That's my best Taz.
Yeah.
That's it. That's as far as I go. Sorry, Gary. So anyway, didn't mean to interrupt you. So why don't you tackle that question for us?
Okay, why does your dog kook when people come over? Short answer, because you've allowed your dog to kook when people came over. What you have to do is your dog should have boundaries that it knows. And, the excitement when a person comes over, natural. The inability to redirect the dog when you're done with the excitement, that's where your problem comes in. You should always be able to, whatever behavior your dog's doing, you should be able to redirect it off of.
Yeah, and I know I'm always interrupting you when you answer these questions, but one thing, too, I want the listener to understand is the human's energy is the same. When people come over, your energy is going to change.
Yep.
You have, if it's your friend.
Turn on.
Yeah, if your friend is coming over, you're excited about seeing your friend. You should have good manners. So you have to be a little bit on, right?
Yep.
A little bit different energy when your father-in-law comes over, right? But it's still...
I love my father-in-law if you're listening, Howard.
But my point is, you're being unfair to the dog if you don't at least understand that as a human being, you have the same energy change.
Yeah.
Right?
You're expecting more out of them than physically you're even doing.
That's exactly. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
So what you need to do is set boundaries. So where you need to start is not when the person comes in and then try muscling the dog. That's going to be the end goal, but that's not going to be the starting point. The starting point is when nobody's there to get the dog calm. What we do is the spot drill. You send the dog to the spot, and ultimately you send the dog to the spot. They go and sit down. They get their reward, and no matter what happens, you can snap your fingers, say spot, and the dog will go there.
Right.
How it happens is you get the dog to first touch the spot. You break it down into steps. You get the dog to come I put the mat between me and the dog. I say spot. The dog comes to me for a treat and inadvertently steps on the mat. Okay, now you've done what I want. So then you step it up from there. Okay, now you got to bring all 4 feet. Now you got to come on and sit down. Now you got to come in and sit down. I'm going to tell you to stay, and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk back and give you a treat.
Right.
And, eventually I'm going to tell you, spot, I'm going to go check the mail. I'm going to go wash my car. And when I come back, you should still be in the spot.
Right.
So that's how it happens. You basically start with small boundaries, but when it happens, you have to be able to match the dog's energy level. If you're going to give a correction and, a dog bouncing off the guests is a 10. It's a 10 squared.
Right.
So at that point, you have to be able to get the dog off of you, off the people. So if you can do it with your voice, cool. If not, you may have to leash the dog. If you know people are coming over, let the dog drag around a leash for a minute. So you have a 6-foot handle. As soon as that dog starts acting like it's going to go for that person, give him a pop leash.
Right.
Step on the leash.
Right.
Don't let him get to the person. Jumping. Jumping is a 2-part mechanism. It takes a down for them and then a spring back up.
Right.
If you throw that command when they're going down, 9 times out of 10 it will stop it.
Right.
So that's the deal. Is you have to set boundaries before the guest comes over. You need to be 100% firm on those boundaries and never let them slip. You can't say, oh, this is just the Amazon guy. He's not going to stay or something.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, and I'll tell, if the dog's energy's high before you open the door, don't open the door.
Right.
Tell the person, give me just a second, calm the dog down, and then do it.
Yeah, and I think that's a pro tip, because I think a lot of times people make it worse because they're worried about the person on the other side of the door. And they start to get, they start to build up angst.
Yep.
The more angst you're feeling, that dog's going to feel it.
And I see that so much in different aspects of dog training where people are so worried about what other people are going to think.
You got to let that go.
Yeah, forget about it. When I see a person, if I'm walking a dog who's dog reactive and the other person is, staring at me like I'm crazy, I'm going to ignore them.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Obviously, I didn't mean to set your dog off with this dog that I have that's crazy, but it's not going to stop me. Yeah, it's where we are. Where do we go from here?
Right.
So, yeah, the deal is, though, that you can't worry about what other people are thinking. You're training your dog, and if you are focused on that, you're not giving your dog 100%. And if you give your dog 100%, you can break them of that behavior and never have to deal with it again.
Right.
But if it's, you don't want to get near other people, or, you feel like you have to apologize when your dog barks at somebody.
You're off to a horrible start.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to review, too, what you said. One thing that the listener has to understand is you practice each step of this when no one's coming over.
Yeah.
And you practice the shit out of it.
Yes.
And let's say you have a very energetic dog. Let's say the dog's close on energy, somewhere between an 8 and a 10. You're going to have to practice this a lot. At least, we always tell people practice that drill, the spot drill, 5 minutes a day.
5 minutes a day.
Always end the drill on a positive note. If you only get the dog to stay on day 1, that's a positive note. But what you're working on is getting the dog to stay in that spot, okay, hence the word spot drill, until the owner says, okay, you can get up and move around.
Release.
Yeah, so it's going to take at least, if you have a dog that's energy levels between 8 and 10, it's going to take at least 6 months.
Yeah, and it's had, a couple of years of doing this or plus.
Yes.
Dogs don't learn. Dogs make associations, and the
Right.
longer something happens, the stronger that association is.
Right, so I tell people, it's not going to happen on your time frame. You're going to have to give it some time. And it's okay to test and fail. But don't have people come over the first week.
Yes.
While you're working. So just put the dog away.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Dog's fine. Just put the dog.
Yeah. I mean that's a normal punishment in a pack, to get separated off the pack. When you don't act right, you got separated out.
Right. And it's gonna make the owner feel less angst. I always tell people, do what you need to do so that you feel confident.
Yeah.
So don't put yourself in a position to fail immediately, because then you're going to get frustrated and you're going to take it out on the dog.
Yep.
And it's not the dog's fault. You haven't been working on it.
Yep.
But
the dog's not going to follow boundaries that you've never set.
That's right. Well, anyway, that's a good question. And we always talk about the spot drill. I know Sam and Nicole have heard the talk about the spot drill, the people that help us produce
they
these
get pro
episodes.
tips all the time, though.
Yeah, and even though they know, where they could get up here and spout that. They know, because it's probably the most common problem people never work on.
Yeah.
And it solves so many things.
Because, like I said, the ultimate goal is redirection. That
Yes,
no
right.
matter what environment your dog's in, if it loses focus on you, you redirect it back to you. The
Right.
spot drill is perfect for that because it gets the dog focused on you during the distraction in the house. And then, it's also more focused when you go outside the house. The dog is just becoming
That's
more
right.
dialed into you.
That's right.
This is a greater problem that the dog is not respecting boundaries that the dog should know.
Right.
The dog should know if it makes the alpha unhappy, the dog should not do it.
That's right.
So the dog's pushing its limits. The dog's gotten away with it for so long, so it's time to take it back.
Right. And even if you have a dog that say you've had for 7 years and his dog's always had this problem, it's fixable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It just depends on your work ethic,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep. No, I break lots of dogs of things that people, oh, this will never happen. Oh yeah, now we're walking with another dog in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, we talk about this, and people always say, "Well, my dog's been doing this forever. You can't teach an old dog a new trick," and that's so not true.
No.
It just
you
boils
couldn't.
down to your work ethic.
Yes.
As the owner.
Yeah. If that dog believes that you're going to demand it, an
It'll
old dog,
follow.
a young dog, it'll go with it.
And the reason why it's true is because you're tapping into the dog's instincts.
Yep.
The dog does need a good leader.
Yep.
And that is always hardwired in them.
Yep.
So, anyway, I kind of want to change topics, and I want to talk about this story that came out of this Canadian paper, the Globe and Mail. And the reason why it caught my eye is because it literally says, the title of the story is, "The Stories People Don't Tell You About Owning a Rescue Dog." And the reason why it put me off a little bit is because it made it sound like
There's some shady underhanded.
yeah, you're getting like an inferior
Yeah.
dog because you got, it was adopted. And what this article talks about, what they wanted out of a dog. Their rules were, we had some rules about getting a dog. He writes, female, 40 pounds, short-haired, and most importantly, not anxious. So this family is very particular about what kind of dog they want. So when I read that first paragraph, in my mind, they're not really dog people.
No, they're not.
They don't really understand, right?
Yeah.
The person goes on to write that they ended up getting a male dog, 2 years old and big. So at least they kept an open mind.
Yes.
Okay? But what they didn't tell you, what the article starts to talk about is, what they don't tell you is that about doggy Prozac, or that their dog is on it and yours might need to be too. Now that's what irritated me, because they're basically saying that all rescue dogs, in their limited knowledge, needs to be on meds to get over this horrible condition that they were in, right?
Yeah.
And that's frustrating because we're constantly telling people it's not about the dog's behavior has nothing to do whether it was purchased from a breeder or it was a dog that was rescued.
Yep.
The dog, if a dog is nervous, it's genetically nervous, or breed. It's just.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
there is a nervousness that I like. The dog that I'm working with is nervous.
Yeah, right.
But it's been through crap. If
Right.
you aren't prepared to deal with that, then the rescue should not even consider you for a dog like that.
Well, what I'm getting at is, you and I have seen it firsthand. We'll have a litter of puppies that we've rescued, and there's going to be puppies.
A biological personality.
Yeah, and some are skittish, some are super outgoing. And my point is, people have this condition in their brain that when they see a skittish dog, they think, "Oh my God, what did this poor dog go through?"
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is, whatever dog that they got that needed to be put on Prozac had nothing to do with the fact that it was a rescue dog.
No, we've worked with thousands of rescue dogs, and not one has ever been on Prozac.
No. In fact,
I've only known one dog,
Yeah.
and like psychiatric meds. I'm not here to say that psychiatric meds for people aren't necessary.
Sure.
But are they overprescribed?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And same with the vet world. We see these dogs all the time.
Yeah, there's a ton of dogs that are on doggy Prozac that could be trained and they would be fine. Are there dogs that do have chemical imbalances? Absolutely.
Sure.
They're, a DNA formed human being in miniature in that way. They can have any of the same things we can have. So there is a use for that, but it's so overprescribed.
Oh, totally. I can't tell you how many people. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes. What's your question, Nicole?
How would you know if your dog needs to be on Prozac?
That's a great question. So here's the deal. And I can count at least 25 to 30 cases that I've personally been involved with where I get a call to come out because their dog is having a problem, and they went to the vet. Okay, now, vets are awesome for medical issues, biological issues. When a person is having trouble with their dog and they go to a vet, I would say at least 85% of the time, the vet is going to prescribe something that is it's going to alter their behavior. Okay, it's going to, in their mind, it's going to calm the dog down. Nothing about, hey, not asking any questions about, well, how much are you exercising the dog? How well are you walking your dog? So instead of asking dog behavior questions, the vet goes to chemical.
Yep.
Always. And what I love about when I'm involved in this situation is the look of relief when I get the dog off the medication and get them into a routine to show them that the dog's fine. Again, this could be a dog that was purchased. This could be an adopted dog.
Yep.
And you're 100% right. Vets, just like doctors, overprescribe medication. And the owners come in frustrated. They're like, this dog is biting. The dog is constantly moving around and running around. Dog's not paying attention.
They wholeheartedly think we've done everything we can.
Yeah, and for no reason this dog's acting
Yes.
this way. It must be, so that in their brain, it must be a medical issue. And I don't know why vets play along with it.
Well, I think that's the same.
Dr. Kim, our vet at SOC, is the first one that I've seen that rarely prescribes, meds for dogs.
Yeah. I think that it's the same thing within the, our fields, our doctors' fields. If you go to a medical doctor and you tell them I'm depressed, they're going to prescribe you something. If you go to a psychologist, they may try to work through that in another way. And they may prescribe pills, but they're also going to do the working with it to try to get you back off of those pills. Yeah. So I think that, if you go to a medical doctor for a emotional or psychological issue, then you're going to the wrong mechanic.
Right. And I think sometimes about one of the things you learn early on in psychology is if you personally have a problem and you go in, your decision on who to ask dictates what you're really thinking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
To get the response that you want.
Yeah. So if I like chemical solutions, I'm going to ask this person maybe, and I'm hoping that they'll give me a chemical solution. If I really am trying to help myself,
someone who's going to tell you to put in the hard work.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that says a lot.
So to answer your question though, how will you know? Have you tried to break the dog of the behaviors? But you're going to see spastic behaviors that aren't continuous. Like when you're working with a normal dog in a normal situation, it's more linear. You're going to start here, you'll see the behaviors start to change. When a dog that's got emotional issues, it'll be cyclical. It will always come back to the same spot. No matter how much you do it, the dog will never pick it up. So once you start seeing that and you start trying to work around and you find out that training's not working, then that's the time to actually look into it. They can do neurological testing and biological testing and testing for neurotransmitters and all that stuff. It's super expensive. So I try to just basically cancel it out. Start with the behavioral things and try to fix it that way. And if you're seeing that your dog is spastic in a way that it can't do a linear thinking, then that may be a solution.
Seriously, in all the cases I've been working, and it's at least 30, in every one of those cases, we got the dog off the meds.
Yes.
And it was just,
The one that I haven't was a breeder dog, a Springer Spaniel, right? Full bred with papers. And
that's hilarious.
That dog, and when they got it on the doggy Prozac, who's on the box? A Springer Spaniel.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's so true. And Cesar Millan said it, and I think it's super simple to understand. If and when you ever go to Mexico, and you've been there before, you'll see a lot of dogs on the street, and you'll see dogs on the street that are starving, but they're not problematic. They're not, trying to take your face off or anything.
No.
They're just doing their own thing.
Existing, yeah.
Right. But you see dogs in the United States, right? And they're well fed, but huge problem.
Yeah.
So
everyone, something to that entitlement.
Everyone noodle that for a little bit. Oh, I thought we were going off.
I thought he's kicking us off the air. The hook's coming out to pull us off stage.
Which is fine. That was a great ending. But I guess we have to keep going. Anyway, but I think that's the best way to look at it. It's really rare that the dogs have an issue that you cannot solve by proper ownership.
Yep.
It's really rare. I've only seen one dog in my lifetime that just wasn't getting the program, and unfortunately that dog had to be put to sleep.
Yeah. Some
But-
of those behaviors, are dangerous.
Yeah, they are, and that
very
dog couldn't
problematic.
function.
This
Yeah, dog was dangerous.
This dog would literally try to. It would dig through the carpet trying to dig under doors. It would jump out windows. It would jump out windows on the second story.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, no, this dog
crazy.
had crazy separation anxiety, and there was nothing you
Nothing
were
you
going
could
to
do.
to break it.
Yeah. But anyway, that article kind of got me sideways. But the person who wrote the article kind of finishes the paragraph saying that, of course they love the dog and they were able to work through it, but the dog is on meds, which I was kind of sad to say. But anyway, I just really don't like it when there's this this veil put on dog rescues that they're all
Yeah, there's some kind of
yeah.
universal negative connotation
And-
about them that they're trying to just move dogs.
Well, not only that, but again, whatever a dog has gone through in its past, it usually doesn't take a lot to get that dog on the right track.
Nope.
Like, because again, we say it a million times, dogs live in the moment.
They don't remember it.
They don't remember. They have the capacity to remember it, but things have to happen, like a smell, or they have to actually see the person, or
Yeah.
whatever.
And then even then, it's not like we see it.
Exactly.
When I trigger a memory of something bad that happens, I can see it as a video. They
Right.
kind of see it more as still frames.
Exactly. So anyway, I want everyone to kind of think about that. Always remember that be a dog. If you're ever in a bad mood or things aren't going your way, just be a dog. Just
Yep.
be thankful that you're living. Be thankful that you're breathing. Be thankful that you can see. You
Next
can hear.
meal's coming. And
Next meal's coming. You're going to eat okay. Especially if you're living in Southern California. I don't care who you are. Just be a dog. Just enjoy the day. And, don't fret. Don't be like me. I get up in the morning and I am grumpy for an hour because when I get up in the morning, I think about every failure I've
list.
gone through.
Oh, wow.
Every failure. I'm miserable for like an hour. But anyway.
For me, it's the list of stuff that's looming over me.
Things to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, please tune in. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in for the love of dog. Totally good news. New Road is back with their food. However, it's only treats. That's okay. We love the treats. You saw Gary try them months ago. Either way, doesn't matter. They're great. They're terrific. Treats only. The promo code is REDDOG15, all caps. Type that in when you're ordering. You get a discount, plus we get a little bit of a donation. We love it. Please check it out. New Road. Thanks, everybody. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Mr. Gary kind of slipped out of here, and now PJ, our co-founder, technically not co-founder, she's actually our founder. PJ has slipped in, replacing Gary's spot. PJ, how are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
I'm doing good. How was your week? Anything
It was
fun?
good. Apparently, I'm still wearing the same shirt from
Yes, you
last
are.
week. And so are
How
you.
does that happen?
I don't know.
Well, I got a million black little red dog shirts.
I know.
This is different from the one I wore last week.
Okay.
You have no way of knowing. Anyway, what you got going on with us for us? What's going on?
I seem to always have a COVID story. So I have one of the things that has that I won't call it another pandemic, but I read recently, August 11th. This was in the Medical Express website. So rates of dog bites in children are going up during the COVID-19.
That makes sense.
And why do you think that makes sense?
Well, because everyone's home.
Exactly.
Everyone's had it. Everyone's pissed off.
Right. Well,
even the dogs.
Well, I don't think that's
The
necessarily.
dogs are like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily that it's the dogs. I think the dogs actually like having us home, but there's a few things that are contributing to it. And again, I think these are probably. Trying to find it. There's common sense, but what you said, increased child dog exposure because of the shelter in place.
The children are bored.
Children are home.
They start messing with the dog.
there's heightened stress for the dogs because
Right.
if people are out of work or they have the kids there learning and they're trying to do their conference calls and the dogs are barking, so that's very stressful for everybody, and dogs pick up on that, right? And then this one should never be the case, but it's decreased adult supervision around the dogs, right? Because again, adults are juggling a lot of responsibilities at home, and they're not really paying attention to the dogs and the kids. So that is what is driving it up, and I guess 40% more bites.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, our neighbor,
Yeah.
she's got the 2 boys, and they have that Vizsla off leash.
It's not a Vizsla.
It's not? What is it?
Weimaraner.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I am.
So I've noticed that, especially this last month, the dog is out off leash.
He's been in our driveway.
He's in his 2 houses down.
Yeah.
It's about 50 yards away. So it's true, and so he's getting more distracted. And the dog's like all over the place, which isn't great because we've got another dog across the street
That's not dog friendly.
It's not dog friendly, so it's not. It's a recipe for disaster for sure.
It is. I'll say this. Whoever's listening to the 3
My
people
mom,
who listen,
my mom and 2 other people.
I don't know how we can say this any clearer or plainer, and I don't know why it has to be said, but never, ever, ever, ever leave your kids unattended with any dog. Steve and I have talked about this a lot. Our dogs, again, we lost Bella a couple months ago, but even with her, she was amazing with kids. Tank is amazing with kids. Nigel and Buster are a little barky, but eventually they still love kids.
Right.
I know I could trust those dogs with a kid by itself, but I would never do that.
Right. Why
Because you never, ever, ever want to leave them unattended because something bad can happen. And I've talked about this over and over again in our podcast. I don't understand why people think that their dogs should be held to a higher standard than humans. And you can't rely on the dog to be good. And we see it over and over again. And we had a situation we heard about last month or earlier this month. I think it was late last month. I was talking to an owner and their son had gotten bitten in the face, and I said, has anything like this ever happened? They said, no, but he's growled at him a couple of times, but they still put the dog in the kid's bed every night.
Right.
I just don't get that. I'm not saying that, that they are doing something bad, but I'm just like, if you're having a problem with your dog, the last thing I want to do is leave my kid alone with it.
Right.
And we all know I like dogs better than kids. So.
Sure. We've made that point. You made that point very clear.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. So it's another thing going on in the pandemic. Something else that I just read about, I guess this happened July 8th, and I didn't know about this, but the United States Postal Service is adding stickers to the mailboxes in several states. The SPAZ program, or they're calling it, was rolled out in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and the western region of New York, among some other areas in June. And it's basically, the SPAZ program is meant to help protect letter carriers because
Sure.
they do take a lot of abuse from dogs.
They do.
So tell me what you think. Who do you think are the top 5 states with the most dog bites?
I'm guessing it's probably going to be in the South.
Just get top 5.
I'm gonna say Texas is number 1 or 2.
Okay, just get.
I'm gonna say Tennessee. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say California. There's a lot of people in California.
That's 3. What else?
I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go with those 3.
Okay. Well, you did pretty well. The top 5 states with the largest number of dog bites are California, Texas, Ohio, Illinois, and New York.
Oh, should have gotten New York.
Specifically, the 3 cities are Houston, Los Angeles, and Chicago, with the 3 cities with the largest number of attacks. About 5,800 postal employees were attacked in 2019, and so.
So what are they doing? What's the sticker program like? So the sticker means you have a dog at that house, and what happens?
So the yellow sticker, I should have sent this
color.
to him.
It's color coordinated.
So yellow sticker indicates that a dog just resides at the next delivery address, right?
Oh, okay.
So if there were, I'm trying to think of anybody who doesn't have a dog. I guess
Right.
people next to us don't have a dog. So they would have a yellow sticker, and then our house would have an orange sticker, because that means the dog resides at this residence. And we know that we've had mail not delivered. Oh, look at that.
How does Sam do it so quick?
Amazing. Yeah, so there's the stickers. We've had mail not delivered because they know we have dogs, right? Didn't that happen?
Well, the rule is, yeah, so I got twisted about 6 months ago. It was right before the pandemic, I think. I got twisted to our postman because he knows we have dogs, and I guess the front door was open,
Oh, right.
so he wasn't going to come up.
Because it was nice that day. So
Yeah, he wasn't going to come up,
Right.
and so we didn't get the special
I think
delivery.
it was UPS, actually. I don't think it was the
No, it was him. It was him because I
Okay.
had to apologize to the postmaster at El
Oh,
Toro.
that's right. You did have to do that. Yeah.
Kind of got overly heated. Maybe I shouldn't have. But
So
anyway.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm not really sure. I guess it's just they're trying to make them more aware. Once again, what you could do is keep your freaking dogs in your house, away from the door if you're gonna have to open your door. I mean, it's not fair that almost 6,000 of them get bit every year.
No, I
because-
am sympathetic to FedEx, UPS, the postman, because they have to deal with a lot. And I know I tried to make a joke to the UPS driver the other day. He did not appreciate my humor.
They're not
He's
that.
he's
They're not that open to dog
he-
bite humor.
he did not like I said, it's okay as long as you're not wearing brown,
Yeah.
to the UPS guy. He did not think I was funny.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
He did not.
I don't want to make light of it because I think it is
No,
bad.
no, I
Some
was
of them
just-
do get bit pretty badly, and I do
Absolutely.
think it's a bad owner. Is absolutely a bad owner that doesn't make sure their dog
Absolutely.
is secured in their
Absolutely.
home, in their
Absolutely.
yard, and let these people do their jobs, right? So
Well, that's why I was trying to make light of it. I was trying to make him understand he didn't need to worry, but obviously he did not think.
Yeah, I don't think the dog bite humor is something that they're really interested in. Anyway, so National Dog Bite Awareness Week was June 14th to June 20th. So who knew that? But anyway, they do things like this SPAZ program.
Pause.
SPAZ
They
is
take pause.
has helped. So good for them. I think it's something that we should do. I had this other little story. I really don't know much about it, but I thought it was one of those, how we talk about networkers and kind of the crazy people. I mean, obviously we love animals and we don't want to see them hurt, but
You were talking about the networkers on social media that.
yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
they just go so crazy. Like I've gotten these crazy emails about a dog that was in peril, and so you start to read it, and then you realize it was from 4 years ago. Like so, nobody stops and really checks any information. And I thought what was interesting about this story, and I honestly can't. Okay, so it was June 5th. So apparently this man brought his puppy to a Black Lives Matter rally. I'm sorry. Yes, that's what it was. And I think somebody came up and picked up the puppy by the scruff of the neck, and all these rumors started. It was reported that they strangled him, that they stole it from a rescue, and they killed the dog. And then all of a sudden, that spawned this petition on change.org, and more than 100,000 people were asking for the maximum sentence of this person who was in Memphis, Tennessee, who supposedly tortured this dog. And this woman offered a cash reward, and then they prompted activists from all over to target and threaten this wrongly accused man. They published his phone number, his address, and everybody was just going after him. And first of all, the dog wasn't dead. The dog
Right.
didn't get hurt
It was
at all.
fine.
Secondly, it wasn't that person that they had published.
Oh, really?
No. So he was wrongly accused, and they said, while picking him up by the scruff of the neck is not good, and we would never want to see that happen, it's not illegal in Tennessee, and certainly the dog didn't die. So I think it just shows how people will just glom onto something and just go crazy.
Why did this
about
person bring the dog to the?
I don't know. I don't understand why you would bring
that kind of
to any kind of a
function.
rally
Yeah.
or protest. I don't think animals
Because
really
you're
have
just
a place
asking
there.
for trouble anyway.
You are.
You're freaking out the dog.
Exactly. So.
Especially if the thing went south. Now you've got
So don't bring your here's pro tip. Don't bring your dogs
To a rally.
any kind of a rally, protest, whatever. Keep your dogs safely at home, away from the post people.
I guess there's some exceptions if the rally involved dogs. I guess you could, if you have a dog rally.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, we're going to end this with a couple of trivia questions, just to end on a fun,
Okay,
quick note.
get me.
True or false? Greyhounds can run to up to 45 miles an hour.
True.
Okay, good. True or false? Smaller dog breeds mature faster than large dog breeds.
Smaller dog, mature, false.
They actually do. And they also tend to live longer.
Well, I know that.
True or false? The Bible mentions dogs 35 times. Anybody out there?
Who's a Bible thumper? I'm
Yeah.
just true.
It is true.
Wow.
Yep. True or false? Chihuahua puppies are born with a soft spot on their skull, just like baby humans.
Just Chihuahuas?
Just Chihuahuas.
This says just Chihuahuas. I'm gonna say false on that one.
It's true.
Really, just Chihuahuas.
Yes, just Chihuahuas.
I don't think Nigel's ever sealed.
It'd be nice. Let's see really quickly. Who was the very first dog star in television film history?
Oh, it was that terrier that was with. It was about a detective. I can't remember the dog's name, but I think the name of the show was The Thin Man.
The dog was Rin Tin Tin.
Oh, I was wrong.
I would say I don't think he was a. Wasn't that a
wrong.
bigger dog?
Rin Tin Tin was a German Shepherd, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe Sam can find it.
Yeah,
out.
Sam, feel like that.
Trying to
Sam, what are you doing back there? You don't know the answer to this already.
close us out.
Jesus, he's always messing around over there.
True or false? Dogs. Some dogs can be taught to count and solve simple math problems.
Yes, true.
They can.
True story.
And, true or false? Dogs with erect ears hear better than dogs with droopy ears. Oh,
There's
there we
Rin
go.
Tin
There's
Tin.
Rin Tin Tin. You were right. He is a
German
shepherd.
Shepherd.
I didn't know. I mean, I know the dog. I just didn't know.
I'm
So
pretty sure my answer is correct, though, if I could think of the
it doesn't matter.
question.
That's fine.
I mean, the
It's
show.
not the first. This was the first dog superstar.
No. I'm telling you, it's
It
this Dog
says-
and the Thin Men.
Okay.
Google
Anyway.
Thin Men TV
I think
show.
we're gonna go on that.
Oh, see, you hit the music, so I couldn't figure it out.
It's been fun. Okay.
Well, thanks, PJ, for your stories and your rendition there of true
Trivia.
or false trivia. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please tune in and subscribe for the love of dog. We'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Oh.